Nora's heart pounded as the maitre d' blocked the entrance to Le Chateau, his eyes narrowing at her hand clasped in Nova's. "I'm sorry, madam, but we have a dress code," he sneered, though her elegant black gown screamed sophistication. In that instant, the rejection hit like a slap. Not for her attire, but for her black skin and the woman she loved, shattering the evening she'd planned as a milestone in their relationship. She froze, the bustling New York street fading into a blur. How could this happen in 2026, in a city that prided itself on progress? Nova squeezed her hand tighter, her voice a low whisper. "Nora, let's go. They're not worth it." But inside, Nora's mind raced with fury and humiliation. This wasn't just a denied reservation. It was a declaration that people like her didn't belong in their polished world of Michelin stars. As they walked away, Nora's thoughts churned. She'd grown up in a conservative Atlanta family, where her father's stern lectures on fitting in echoed endlessly. "Don't draw attention, Nora. Be twice as good to get half as far." But being black had always meant navigating minefields, and adding her love for women? That was a war she'd fought silently for years. Coming out to her parents at 22 had been a battlefield. Her mother crying about grandchildren, her father muttering about disgrace. They tolerated it, barely, as long as she kept it quiet. Now this incident ripped open those wounds. Nova pulled her into a nearby cafe, ordering coffees with a forced smile. "Babe, it's their loss. We'll find somewhere better." But Nora couldn't shake it. Her mind replayed the maitre d's smirk, the subtle glance at their intertwined fingers. Was it racism, homophobia, or both? The intersection felt like a vice squeezing her chest. She thought of all the times she'd bitten her tongue, at work, where colleagues whispered about her lifestyle, or at family gatherings where aunts hinted at finding a nice man. That night, back in their Brooklyn apartment, Nora paced the living room. Nova sat on the couch, watching her with those piercing green eyes that always saw too much. "Talk to me," Nova urged. Nora stopped, her voice breaking. "It's not just tonight. It's everything. I worked so hard to build a life where I could be me, and still. This." Nova stood, wrapping her arms around Nora. Their embrace was a sanctuary, but even there, doubts crept in. Nova came from a liberal Boston family, accepted without question. She didn't carry the same scars. The next morning, Nora woke with a fire in her belly. She couldn't let this slide. Scrolling through her phone, she found reviews of Le Chateau, whispers of discrimination buried under glowing praises. One anonymous post mentioned a similar rejection for a gay couple. Fueled her. "I'm going public," she told Nova over breakfast. Nova hesitated. "Are you sure? It could backfire." But Nora's resolve hardened. Exposure was her weapon. She drafted a social media post, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "Last night I was turned away from Le Chateau not for my outfit, but for being black and loving a woman. In a city of dreams this nightmare persists." Attaching a photo of them outside the restaurant, she hit send. The likes poured in, shares multiplying. By noon it had gone viral. Comments ranged from support to vitriol. Cry me a river mixed with, "This is unacceptable." Her phone buzzed incessantly. Reporters called, wanting interviews. Nora's stomach twisted. Was this the right path? Exposing herself meant inviting more hate, more scrutiny on her relationship. Nova fielded some calls, her voice steady. "We're in this together," she said. But inwardly, Nora questioned if Nova truly understood the cost. For her it was solidarity. For Nora it was survival. As the day wore on, her family caught wind. Her mother's call came first, voice laced with worry. "Nora, what are you doing? Dragging our name through the mud." Her father was blunter. "You think stirring this up will help? It'll just make things worse for you." Their words stung, echoing the internal voice that whispered she was too much, too loud. But silencing herself had never worked. This time she chose defiance. By evening, Le Chateau issued a statement. "We apologize for any misunderstanding. We value diversity." It was hollow PR fluff. Nora seethed. Misunderstanding? No, it was deliberate. She decided to dig deeper. Contacting a civil rights lawyer friend, she learned about potential lawsuits. "You have a case," the friend said. "But it'll be ugly." Ugly was an understatement. That night, as Nova slept beside her, Nora lay awake, mind racing. Suing meant reliving the humiliation in court, facing cross-examinations that might question her character. And what about Nova? Their relationship, already tested by external pressures, could crack under the spotlight. Nova had her own career as a graphic designer. Scandal might tarnish it too. Yet, the alternative, letting it go, felt like betrayal to herself and others like her. She thought of young black queer girls scrolling through her post, seeing someone fight back. That image propelled her forward. In the quiet hours, she whispered to herself, "This is bigger than me." The following week blurred into meetings and media. Nora appeared on a local news segment, her voice steady despite the nerves. "This isn't just about one night. It's about systemic exclusion." The anchor nodded sympathetically, but online trolls descended. "Attention seeker," they called her. Death threats trickled in, making Nova install extra locks. Nova's support wavered subtly. "Maybe we settle out of court," she suggested one evening. Nora snapped. "And let them win?" The argument escalated, voices rising. "I'm scared for us," Nova admitted. Nora softened, pulling her close. But doubt lingered. Was she dragging Nova into her fight? The lawsuit filing hit like a bombshell. Nora's lawyer, a sharp-tongued advocate named Elena, pushed the papers through, alleging discrimination based on race and sexual orientation. Le Chateau's owners, a wealthy French expatriate family, lawyered up fast. Their denial was swift. "No such policy exists. This is a fabrication." Nora's days became a whirlwind of depositions and strategy sessions. In the sterile conference room, she recounted the incident, her voice trembling at first, then gaining strength. "He looked at our hands and sneered." Elena nodded, jotting notes. But inwardly, Nora battled waves of self-doubt. Was she overreacting? Had she misread the situation? The gaslighting from the restaurant's PR machine gnawed at her. Nova tried to be the rock, cooking dinners and offering massages after long days. But tension simmered. One night, after a particularly grueling meeting, Nora came home to find Nova staring at her laptop, face pale. "What's wrong?" Nora asked. Nova turned the screen. An article outing Nova's past, a brief fling with a man in college. "They're digging into us," Nova whispered. "Trying to discredit you through me." The betrayal felt visceral. Who had leaked it? Nora's mind raced to her family, perhaps her cousin, always jealous, or a friend from work. Trust fractured. "I'm sorry," Nora said, hugging Nova. But Nova pulled away slightly. "This is affecting my job. Clients are asking questions." Nora's heart sank. Was their love strong enough for this storm? Family pressure mounted. Her sister, the peacemaker, flew in from Atlanta. "Mom and Dad are worried sick. They think you're destroying yourself." Over coffee, her sister pleaded. "Drop it, Nora. For your own good." But Nora saw the underlying fear of association, of the family's respectable image tarnished. "This is who I am," Nora retorted. "If they can't accept that, maybe I don't need their approval." Internally, she agonized. Growing up, she'd idolized her parents' resilience. Immigrants who built a life from nothing. But their conservatism clashed with her truth. "Why can't you just be normal?" her father had once asked. Normal. The word haunted her. Was fighting back abnormal or essential? Society's backlash intensified. Protests formed outside Le Chateau, supporters chanting for justice, counter-protesters decrying woke culture. Nora attended one, microphone in hand. "This fight is for every marginalized person denied dignity." Cheers erupted, but so did boos. A thrown egg missed her narrowly, splattering the ground. Adrenaline surged. Fear followed. Nova skipped the protests, citing work. "I support you, but crowds aren't my thing." Nora nodded, but resentment brewed. Was Nova pulling away? That night they argued again. "You act like this is just my problem," Nora accused. Nova fired back. "It is your fight. I didn't ask for this exposure." Silence fell, heavy with unspoken regrets. Amid the turmoil, Nora found unexpected allies. A former employee of Le Chateau contacted her anonymously. "It happens all the time," the whistleblower said. "They profile guests." Evidence trickled in: emails, witness statements. Elena was thrilled. This could be huge. But Nora wondered about the cost to the informant. Everyone paid a price in this game. Her own sacrifices piled up. Work as a marketing consultant suffered. Clients hesitated. Too controversial, one said. Financial strain loomed. Nova covered bills, but it bred imbalance. I feel like a burden, Nora confessed in therapy, a new ritual. The therapist probed. What are you willing to lose for justice? Everything, Nora thought. But was that fair to Nova? A turning point came at a family dinner Nova insisted on hosting. Her parents arrived, warm and accepting as always. Contrast sharpened Nora's pain. Your folks get it, she told Nova later. Nova sighed. Yours could too if you give them time. But time felt like a luxury amid the escalating drama. The restaurant's owners offered a settlement, hush money, essentially. Take it, Nova urged. End this nightmare. Nora stared at the papers torn. Accepting meant complicity and silence. Rejecting meant prolonged battle. Her mind weighed the ethics. Was personal peace worth abandoning the cause? She refused. I can't, she told Elena. The lawyer smiled. Good. Trial it is. As preparations ramped up, Nora's resolve solidified, but cracks in her relationship widened. Nova's late nights at work raised suspicions. Was she seeking escape? One evening, Nora confronted her. Are you having doubts about us? Nova's eyes filled with tears. I'm scared we'll break. Honesty cut deep, forcing Nora to confront her own role. Had her pursuit of justice blinded her to love's fragility? The media frenzy peaked with a national interview. Nora sat under bright lights, heart racing. This isn't revenge, it's accountability. Viewers responded, donations poured into a fund for queer POC rights. Empowerment surged, but so did isolation. Friends distanced themselves. Family communication dwindled. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as the trial began. Nora sat rigidly, flanked by Elena, while Le Chateau's defense team exuded arrogance. The judge, a stern woman in her 50s, called order. Opening statements flew. Elena painting a picture of systemic bias, the opposition dismissing it as isolated misunderstanding. Nora's testimony was first. Under oath she relived the humiliation, voice steady but eyes betraying pain. His words were code for exclusion. Cross-examination was brutal. Isn't it possible you were overdressed? The lawyer probed. Nora fired back. No, it was my identity he rejected. Inside, she seethed at the gaslighting. Spectators included activists and skeptics. Nova sat in the back, supportive yet distant. Their mornings had grown tense. Quick kisses replacing lingering embraces. I miss us, Nova had whispered the night before. Nora nodded, but her focus was the fight. Guilt gnawed. Was she sacrificing their future? Revelations unfolded. The whistleblower testified, masked for anonymity. Management instructed us to curate the clientele. No undesirables. Gasps echoed. Evidence mounted. Internal memos hinting at profiling. The owners squirmed, their polished facade cracking. But twists came. A surprise witness, Nora's own cousin, testifying for the defense. She's always been dramatic, he claimed. Exaggerates for attention. Betrayal stabbed deep. Family ties severed in that moment. How could blood turn against her? Her mind raced, jealousy? Or internalized hate? Post-court, Nora confronted her family via video call. Why? She demanded. Her father admitted. We thought it would help end this madness. Madness? Her fight for dignity? Tears streamed as she hung up. Alienation complete. Nova comforted her that night. They're wrong. But Nova's own doubts surfaced. What if we lose? We'll be broke. Finances were dire, legal fees mounting. Nora had dipped into savings, Nova contributing reluctantly. This is our life, Nora insisted. Nova sighed. But is it worth ruining? Moral dilemmas intensified. Elena uncovered more dirt. The restaurant had donated to anti-LGBTQ causes. Outrageous, but exposing it meant dragging innocent employees into unemployment if the place shut down. Nora pondered. Justice for one versus livelihoods for many? Society's mirror reflected harshly. Online she was hero and villain. A viral thread accused her of playing the race card. Supporters rallied but hate mail escalated. One letter threatened violence, prompting police involvement. Fear crept in, shadowing her steps. Nova's breaking point neared. At a support group for partners of activists, she confessed fears. Returning home, she told Nora, "I feel invisible in this." Nora listened, heart aching. "I need you," she admitted. They made love gently, a reminder of their bond, but tension lingered. High drama hit when the owners countersued for defamation. Baseless accusations, they claimed. Elena laughed it off, but Nora panicked. What if they're right? Self-doubt peaked. Had her perception been skewed by past traumas? Therapy sessions delved deeper. "You're carrying generations of pain," the therapist said. Nora reflected on her grandmother's stories of segregation, her own brushes with prejudice. This trial was catharsis but exhausting. A pivotal moment. Nova's testimony. She described the incident vividly, voice cracking. "It hurt seeing her diminished." The jury leaned in. But on cross they twisted her words. "You weren't directly addressed, correct?" Nova faltered. Post-testimony she broke down. "I can't do this anymore." The argument that followed was raw. "You're abandoning me," Nora accused. Nova retorted, "You're abandoning us for this crusade." Words hung like daggers. Nova packed a bag, staying with a friend. Solitude hit Nora hard. Was victory Pyrrhic? Alone she questioned everything. The lawsuit had exposed ugliness, but at what cost? Relationships fractured, sanity frayed. Yet withdrawing now meant defeat. Court resumed with damning evidence. Video footage from the restaurant's entrance, catching the maitre d's disdainful glance. The jury's faces shifted. Closing arguments sealed it. Elena passionate, defense floundering. As deliberations began, Nora wandered Central Park, mind swirling. Nova texted, "Thinking of you." Hope flickered. Perhaps reconciliation possible. The verdict came swift. Guilty on discrimination charges. Damages awarded, substantial but symbolic. Cheers erupted. Nora wept. Justice tasted bittersweet. Media swarmed. "How do you feel?" a reporter asked. Vindicated but scarred. Internally she tallied losses. Family estrangement, relationship on brink. Victory's afterglow faded quickly. Le Chateau appealed, dragging the saga on. Nora's award money trickled in, but legal battles persisted. Publicly, she was an icon. Invitations to speak at LGBTQ events poured in. Privately, wreckage surrounded her. Nova returned after a week apart, bags in hand. "I needed space," she said. They talked for hours, tears flowing. "I love you, but this changed us." Nora nodded, acknowledging her obsession. "I lost sight of us." Reconciliation tentative, built on fragile promises. Family remained distant. Her mother's sporadic texts. Proud but worried. Her father silent. Nora grappled with forgiveness. Holding grudges poisoned her. Letting go felt like surrender. Ethically torn. Blood ties versus self-respect? Society's response evolved. Boycotts hit Le Chateau hard. Reservations plummeted. The owners issued a genuine apology, pledging reforms. Skeptical, Nora monitored. Was change real or performative? She channeled energy into advocacy. Starting a foundation for queer POC, she mentored youth. "Your story inspired me," a teen said. Purpose bloomed, healing some wounds. But betrayals lingered. Her cousin's testimony? Unforgiven. At a family wedding she skipped, whispers reached her. Too controversial. Isolation deepened. Nova's career rebounded, but theirs strained. Date nights felt forced. "Remember our first date?" Nova mused one evening. Nora smiled faintly. Before the world interfered. Nostalgia bittersweet. A new conflict arose. Media offers for a book deal. "Tell your story," the agent urged. Nova hesitated. More exposure? Nora weighed. Amplifying voices versus privacy invasion. She signed, deciding impact outweighed risk. Writing unearthed buried emotions. Chapters on childhood prejudice, coming out horrors. "Why fight?" she wrote. "Because silence equals complicity." As the book progressed, Nova contributed designs for the cover. Collaboration rekindled sparks. "We're a team," Nova affirmed. Hope grew. Yet setbacks hit. The appeal court date loomed. Elena warned. They might overturn. Anxiety spiked. Nora dreamed of loss, waking in sweats. Social pressures mounted. Friends divided. Some celebrated, others ghosted. Too political, one said. Nora pondered. Was authenticity worth loneliness? A moral quandary emerged when a similar case surfaced. Another black lesbian denied service elsewhere. She advised the victim. Fight but know the cost. Hypocrisy. No wisdom. Nova's family visited, offering support. Contrast pained Nora. Wish mine were like yours, she confided. Nova hugged her. We'll make our own family. High tension peaked at the appeal hearing. Arguments rehashed but new evidence favored Nora. More whistleblowers. The judge ruled in her favor. Finality. Celebration ensued. A quiet dinner with Nova. To us, they toasted. But undercurrents swirled. Nova admitted. I almost left for good. Nora's heart clenched. What stopped you? Nova smiled sadly. Love. And seeing your strength. Post-victory, Nora faced backlash from unexpected quarters. Conservative groups labeled her divisive. Death threats resumed. Security became necessity. Internally, she questioned success's definition. The restaurant's pride shattered, reviews tanked, owners sold out. But her own pride? Tempered by scars. Advocacy consumed her. Speeches, panels. Exhaustion set in. Slow down, Nova pleaded. Nora resisted. People need this. A breaking point. During a keynote, she collapsed from stress. Hospitalized briefly, she reflected. Am I living or just fighting? Nova by her bedside. Choose us. Nora promised change. Recovery brought clarity. She scaled back, focusing on their relationship. Therapy together mended fissures. Family reconciliation tentative. A call to her parents. I miss you. Her mother softened. Come home. Her father grumbled assent. Healing begun. With the dust settling, Nora and Nova rebuilt deliberately. Weekend getaways replaced rallies. Rediscovering you, Nora murmured during a hike in the Adirondacks. Nova laughed, the sound healing. The book launched to acclaim. Shattered Pride chronicled her journey, sparking dialogues on intersectionality. Royalties funded her foundation, amplifying voices. But shadows persisted. Society's progress felt fragile. New laws proposed against discrimination, yet hate crimes rose. Nora advocated quietly now, preserving sanity. Family ties mended slowly. A visit home. Awkward hugs, tentative talks. We were scared, her father admitted. Nora nodded. I was too. Forgiveness earned, not given. Moral reflections deepened. Had her choices been right? Exposing bias helped many, but damaged personal bonds. The trade-off haunted. Nova's unwavering support solidified their bond. Through hell and back, she said on their anniversary. Nora proposed spontaneously. Marry me. Nova's yes tearful. Wedding planning brought joy amid drama. Family attendance? Uncertain. Her sister mediated. They'll come. They did, stiff but present. Progress. Society's gaze lingered. Tabloids speculated on their controversial love. Nora ignored, focusing inward. A final twist. Le Chateau's new owners reached out. We admire your fight. Collaborate. Nora declined politely. Some bridges stay burned. Internally, she pondered ethics of redemption. Forgive institutions? Individuals? Debates endless. Life normalized. Nora returned to marketing, infusing it with activism. Nova thrived in design. Together, they mentored couples facing similar struggles. Yet, awakenings continued. Nora realized her anger had fueled change, but love sustained it. I paid dearly, she thought, but gained more. The stories are complete, questions remained. Had she chosen wisely? Was sacrificing personal peace for societal justice always the right path?